going on? We got another tip video. Nose angle. Yeah. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what tip videos you want to hear next. And make sure you like this video for me. Let's get these likes up. Let's go for like a like goal of like 160 on this video. I'm being ambitious. I'm telling you, if I'm going to give y'all some deadline within like the next week or so. And if that happens, I'll give away a disc. Let's do that. You got a week. Today we are talking about nose angle and how, me personally, how I try to keep my discs angles correct. Let me give you an example of each. First, a nose up. If I can actually like purposely throw a nose up backhand. Nose up. Now, as flat as I can, nose angle. Drastic difference in how those flew. So the importance of nose angle on a disc, this side, blue disc, nose angle is good, flat. This is what the first disc looked like as it was flying. The reason it is important for you to get that nose angle correct is aerodynamics. Science. You don't want your disc flying like this and you seeing your stamps spinning. It's going to happen some, no matter what. It's really hard to get the perfect nose angle, but you want your disc as close to this as possible. This robs distance. This helps distance. So air can fly past the disc way better. And also in wind conditions, a flat flying disc is going to be less affected by all winds than a disc that's flying like this. A disc hit with wind from this way is going to blow more, and if it's coming from this way, it's going to go and then stall. So very important. Wind starts hitting the bottom of the disc more and more as the nose angle goes, and if you get the nose angle up a touch, it's going to do this. Then the wind's just going to hit the bottom and push it out to the left, which is what a lot of beginners deal with, and that's why every disc they have, they say it just goes left. It's a lot of times nose angle. And when you hand somebody a disc, sometimes you'll watch them and they're holding it. It's even hard for me to hold a disc like this right now and I hold it wrong. You see them holding it like this, and that just looks wrong. It's hard for me to even hold it. So it's like almost like you've grabbed the disc with your fingers level, like all at the same spot, and it's hard to grip a disc that way. Like I can't even hardly grab it that way, but it's, instead of them pointing down, it's just this, and almost like they're fanning the air. And if you pull through and throw it like that, it's very drastic for me, but that's the best way to illustrate. Very much so. All it's going to do is go left. So for me, the way I tell people to try to work on nose angles, I know this is a little outdated, okay? Act like you're shaking somebody's hand. You put that hand together, do this, and point to the ground as much as you can with these fingers. This is how I get a good nose angle. So put that on the concrete, sorry disc. I've got it right here. I'm going to put it in the center of my palm here, and I want to wrap my fingers around it. This is going to be, the bottom of this rim is going to be somewhere in this first knuckle or last knuckle, however you want to say it, pinch here, and you point it down. You get that flat. It's almost, I don't know if everybody does this or not, it's almost over exaggerated there, but, and thumb pressure also will help. If you've got an extremely loose thumb and you're not holding the disc with pressure, at least while you're throwing, you're gonna have a tendency for the nose to rise. But if you're putting some thumb pressure down, and like your fan gripping, it's the same thing. Putting it down, having the pressure, whichever way you're loading it. If you're putting a lot of pressure on the front part of your fingers for the pivot, but getting that and keeping that arm and not letting, as you pull through, it relax up. You've got to be able to focus on keeping that angle true. Dead flat. We'll give another. And these are fan grip right now. I power grip, and it's the same way. It's very hard to see that stamp flying, but just a little, I'll change it just a little bit. Did you see the difference? You saw it flying, and you could kind of see the stamp. As opposed to that. There's a drastic difference in how it flies, and that is how I throw a nose down backhand. Nose angles for all releases, hyzers and hyzers, it is very important. It's very hard to actually, it kind of makes you feel like it's counterintuitive to throw an anhyzer nose down, but that's how you get that carry on an anhyzer instead of you throwing it nose up on an anhyzer and it stalling out. So I'll go pick those up and try to give an example of that as well. You can see if you're not paying attention and you release an annie like this, it's very easy to kind of nose it up, and I'll see if I can get one of these to do that. I actually threw that one a little too good. It's so hard to unprogram yourself from throwing. Okay, that's a better example. Look at that, it's almost coming backwards. So that would be the better example of you trying to throw an anhyzer and all it doing is going kind of straight and then just stalling straight out, as opposed to getting the nose angle correct and having your follow through come through on that angle and not coming up, because an anhyzer is a little bit hard to throw too. You gotta follow through on that arc, but and there, that was nose down and also flying on anhyzer, because you could see it was flat pretty much the whole way. We'll do another. These probably won't go really far right because this wind's kind of swirling. And they're slightly stable discs, so they're kind of just going to hold that. A higher or bigger one. Yep. And then the last one. Threw that one a little bit harder, got it to hold that more. Really working on that nose angle is what's going to help you execute your shots more, like be more consistent with them, as well as probably adding distance to your throw. It's very easy to let just a little bit of nose angle come up and rob yourself of a lot of distance. I don't throw crazy far, but I know if I'm messing up one day on distance drives, because drivers are going to show it even more than what slow discs will. Slow discs can sometimes mask a nose angle problem, even up into the mid-ranges. If you're a lower level player and you're used to throwing understable mids, and somebody tells you, well, maybe your nose angle is kind of messing up. Sometimes I've had people say, I think it's fine because these discs fly great. It's just whenever I throw a fairway or a driver, and I'm like, it's because the slow discs are masking it. Try working on that nose angle and try the fairway again after you get really good, because your mids and stuff should start flying probably farther if you're getting the nose angle correct. And then you'll know if those discs start flying better for you that were faster, you started getting your nose angles correct. So keynotes, I'll grab a driver because I don't want to walk and get those putters right now. You do not want your fingers to look like this on the bottom of a disc, especially, I mean, if you're doing a power grip, you don't want them to look like this, fan gripping straight out. Like, they need to be coming at a slant. So this is my fan grip. I do not like fan gripping drivers, but this is what a fan grip on a disc is gonna look like for me, basically. Here on a power grip, I always like grabbing with this one first. I'm trying to get myself to be more loaded in a driver right there, but these fingers are slanting back towards your hand, your wrist. And look, even whenever I hold the disc like this, you actually almost see more of the bottom part of the disc than you do the top. I try to be really flat. Like, if you're having nose angle problems, I wouldn't worry about trying to hit your hyzer angles correct, your anhyzers. I would work on getting the nose angle correct first on a flat, maybe slight hyzerish throw. And then once you get good at that, you can try to start implementing your other angles, getting more practice in on other shot shapes. So that is my 2 cents on nose angles. Give me some more comments down in the section. What? Give me some comments down below. Let me know some other tip videos that you would be interested in hearing. And like I said, get this video 160 likes within like a week. I'll give a disc away. Let's get it going. Share the video for me. That's all we got. Till next time. Peace.